We made it back into the gift shop.
This looks pretty accurate.
Maybe into what in the world is happening at the diner? What? Everyone's hooked on coffee. Oh dear. It's just going crazy. Oh, there we go. See all these different figurines. Just the season. Kids playing different sports. You got bowling, cheerleading, golf. There's the train and the cabinet maker. How are you doing, sir? Not moving. No bobbleheads. Chick-fil-A is really hyped up on coffee at the Rose's Diner. Ice skating. Signers of the Constitution of the United States. Pins. Dolls. Oh, there it goes. It stopped. Christmas card from the White House. There's a coin. George W. Bush on it. Collectible items. It's cold in here.
The entrance to the Philadelphia Centennial Celebration.
Wow. You said it was wood carved. Yeah, that's a big piece of wood. You said that was carved, or that was carved in when? What year?
1876.
18.
For the Centennial.
For the Centennial celebration in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, all right, to make this short and sweet, that place, that building behind me, the House of Presidents, phenomenal. Loved it. A lot of American history, and got to actually sit in the Oval Office chair and took pictures, and I'll put a photo of that now. And other than that, fantastic museum. Love the history, American history. And now we're on our way to Winter Garden. We're going to go there to the Central Florida Railroad Museum. And let's learn about some trains that were here in the Orlando, Claremont, Winter Garden area. Just outside of Disney. And then we'll make our way to Disney Springs. Let's charge on. All right, so from the citrus groves to the railroad. History. This place. Got engine lights. This is the front of a locomotive headlight. It was used on the Nashville, Chattanooga, and St. Louis Railroad. Right here. There's his picture. It's just all things about railroad history. Ocklawaha, the Pullman Company. Crossing post, postmarked location. Along the railroad track where a locomotive engineer was required to sound the train's horn or whistle as the train approached a grade crossing at the intersection. Another set of tracks or vehicular road. The whistle signal consists of 2 long blasts of a whistle or horn, followed by a short blast, and then the final long blast. So 2 short, 1 long, and then 2 long, 1 short, and then a long blast. Also was used as a car. I do not sit here, but this was a motor car manufactured in Fairmont, Minnesota. At the Fairmont Railway Motors and shipped on April 19th of 1938. Authority in Fort Lauderdale, in Florida. Railroad maintenance of way crews employed this car to access section of rail line they were required to maintain. It could carry up to 6 people for movement over the single seat, manually powered velocipedes. The motor car tower and a small trailer hauled the tools and equipment needed for railroad track repair. The Walt Disney Railroad story. There's the Magic Kingdom train and the souvenir medallions. So if we go up there here, this is the communications part of where they have, and then sat inside of the watchtower, also used by conductors and engineers, are pocket watches or a wrist watch to schedule times for different train arrival and departures of trains. Make sure they were always on time, not a second late. The Amtrak and the Auto Train. This is a map of the Auto Train and not just the Auto Train, but Amtrak as well. This is the line for the connecting services are in green from Louisville to Chicago. And Amtrak routes, of course, all in red. They are all over the country. They go from Lewiston out of Chicago as a main hub, and out of course, out of LA, San Francisco, and LA, and in California. And of course, they do have one that goes down to Miami and comes through the area as well. Via Rail Canada train, of course, in the country of Canada, as well as
Sorry.
No, you're fine. As well as the Seaboard line. Right about the Seaboard line here in Florida. It's used. These are different flyers and newspapers. Also, schedule and statistics, which is money, counting, of how much it would be for round-trip fares to and from New York, to and from Philadelphia, Atlantic City, New Jersey, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Cincinnati, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Cleveland, Ohio, Detroit, Michigan, Toledo, and Kansas City, Missouri. All trains. They were not that expensive. Let's see, Winter Haven, that's us. And $27, $24, this was probably back in what year? I don't even know what year this would be, but there it is. Of course, it had all the Pullman pre-Amtrak passenger trains. Memorabilia. Conductor on the MKT line. Seaboard Railroad car attendant. See here, these are the railroad spikes that are used to drive in to create the rails, to build the rails for the different trains and types of trains. All kinds of different trains. They have different layouts of track. You can use these spikes, rail spikes, to drive into the different rail pieces, which are about this thick, and then they would drive the big hammer and drive the nail into the rail to make it stay still so the train would not go off the track and wreck and cause an accident. So they have the rail and spikes. From southwest Colorado, this was a rail and spikes. So that was a rail. That's a rail. And then they had a tie clevis anchor, grips the rail and holds it against the edge to prevent rail creep, train stops, or accelerates. Of course, it was Gold Spike, Orlando Amtrak, 65 years. January 11th of 1991, this Gold Spike was donated to the Amtrak, celebrating the restoration of Orlando Amtrak station on January 11th, 1991. It was built by the Atlantic Coast Line in 1926 to replace their downtown Orlando station, now known as Church Street Station, which I've been there because I rode the Sunrail down to Church Street Station in downtown Orlando. And also we got some produce. Speaking of citrus, here you go, some oranges that were brought in on trains around the Orlando area, which would be Claremont. In Claremont, they would bring in goods, food from all over, from California even, brought them down here to Florida, across the country. So we take a look over here. This is a locomotive chart. This would take a long time to go over, but just to give you a general idea of pinpoints of different marking of different things that are found on the locomotive. Like you'd have the headlight, the smokestack, the bell, the whistle, the big driving wheels, and the front wheels, plus the back